There's a saying that what goes around comes around. Your disobedience to your parents will hit you back, and even hardly. That's number one. Number two, make sure that whatever you do is for the sake of Allah. Why? Because when you get married, if your spirituality is not firm, and you say to yourself, I will become a better person when I am married, I will change when I am married, the son or the daughter that is born from you is likely to follow in your footsteps. Because it is not only the physical genes that transfer from one person to another, but it is the spiritual genes also, and genes so to speak. But the spirituality that transfers from one to another. Somebody was telling me the other day, last night or the night before, that the soul enters the human body. The soul enters the human body after 3 or 4 months, 120 days or something. What happens before, when the soul enters? What the fetus? How is the fetus sustained? The fetus is sustained through the soul of the mother. The fetus is living through the soul of the mother. Yani whatever necessity, the dirt or whatever good the soul of the mother has is starting to transfer into the child slowly by slowly. Which is why it is said that when a person is pregnant, recite the surahs. And to my youth, there are 6 conditions I'm going to tell you now in respect to the obedience to our parents. Number 1, never address your parents by their name. Never. You can address them by their title, their kunyat, but never their name. Number 2, when you are walking with your parents, make sure you do not go in front of them. When you are in a gathering and you have to sit down, you and your parents, make sure you do not sit before your parents. Give them the respect that is deserved. Let them sit down first and then you sit down. Number 3, do not begin eating before your parents. Our 4th Imam, Zainul Abidin, Salamullah alayhi, it is said that whenever he was sitting with his mother, he would not start to eat first. Why? Because he was afraid that if he took a certain bite from that food, maybe that bite was something that his mother wanted to eat. This is our Imam. So he did not eat until he saw his mother taking the food, and then he put food for himself. Number 4, our backs should not be faced to our parents. In some cases, where our backs are faced to our parents, and there's no disrespect observed, and the parents is not upset by it, in those cases, it is okay. For example, here, in the lecture hall, your parents may be seated at the back, you sitting in front, right, Murtala? I saw you looking at your father, that's why. Our voice should not be above theirs. It's very easy to yell at our parents, but our voice should not be above theirs. And number 6, this is very important for those who are going to high school or college or university. We should never insult our parents, but what does insulting our parents mean? You see, there are cases whereby when we get carried away with our friends emotionally, we tend to insult their parents. Your mother is like this, your father is like this. Subconsciously we'll do that. If your friend or so-called enemy replies back and insults your mother because you insulted his or her mother, that is called the insult that you initiated. Yani you are getting the ghunaah for that, the sins for that. Because you initiated that remark for him or her to say it back at you. Therefore, do not give people a chance to insult your parents because of your actions. It becomes haram. Let's go and look at the mothers of Karbala. You can imagine that when each of them, the sons, went one by one, Today, when a mother has her children going to college or university, especially from East Africa, from the Middle East, and the children go away to study, what happens is the mother feels a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety. What is my child going to eat? How will they sleep? Will they be comfortable? They're going to a cold climate. Will they be warm? Oh, I remember when I first went to New York. First at the age of 14. And my mother would try to get anything to ensure she got a cap to keep her son warm, a jacket, even though the jacket was so thin, but she didn't realize the winter. And when I came out, of course, in February of 1909 and entered New York, it was winter. And that when it hit you, I'm like, oh mom, you didn't give me a warm jacket. But with her intention, it was more than enough. At that time I said, Ya Allah, have mercy upon her. Because when you see your mother in pain, in some cases, even though she's not realizing that it is full of pain, sometimes your attention diverts to, I need to be good to her because you know what, I'm going to lose them one day or the other. In the case of Karbala, it was the opposite. Where instead of the lineage progressing, the enemies of Karbala cut off the lineage. You can imagine how Rubab felt when those enemies wanted the heads of every martyr. Every martyr, they wanted the heads. When one of the enemies is riding on a horse, he takes a spear and he puts it into the ground and he takes out, and there is a 6-month-old child in that spear. No, brother. How did a mother of a 6-month-old child feel that because that enemy wanted the head, he takes the spear and puts it into the ground and pulls out a child? And what about Kufa? When the ladies entered Kufa, it is said they were being paraded for everybody to see. And as they were being paraded in the town of Kufa, some women were crying, and Kulthum was saying that, oh women of Kufa, how is it that your men are the ones who slaughtered us while you are the ones who are crying? How is that possible? And when they were seeing those small children, the orphans, some of them were throwing food to the orphans, bread or whatever they had, dates and bread. When Kulthum said, no, do not give charity to us. Charity is haram for us. Do not give us this food. The daughter of Imam al-Hussein was walking. She was an orphan now. And she was walking, and there was another lady who saw from the top, from the second floor. And she sees that Sukaina was walking, and she comes down running with water. And she says that I can see the thirst from your lips. But I have here a pitcher of water, and I want you, before you drink it, to please recite a dua for me. And Sukaina says, what is the dua you want me to recite? The dua is that my children do not face what you are facing. And number 2, that I have the permission to go back to Medina and see my Lady Zainab one more time. At that time, Lady Zainab goes out from the Mahmil and says, oh lady, why do you want to go see Lady Zainab? Because when I used to go to Medina, I used to learn from her. And now that I moved here, I yearn to learn more from the granddaughter of the Holy Prophet. And Zainab replies and says, don't you recognize who I am? I am Zainab. This is my sister, Kulthum. We are in front of you and you don't recognize what has happened to us. And the lady replies and says that, my Lady Zainab, what has happened to you?